Welcome to our To the Rescue Authentic Networking Videocast. I am Nicole Williams along with my co-host Jennifer Johnson. Jennifer, how's it going today?
It's going well. It's going well. Good to see you. And it's kind of a bummer. Dawn isn't here today. The majority of the time she is, but we have a really great guest today, and we are going to segue right into because we got a lot of questions to ask her. This is Angie Oakes, realtor with Berkshire Hathaway. We are in Indiana, so she'll tell us more about where she can sell and all that kind of stuff. But we are going to go right into that. How are you, Angie?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. No question who you work for. Look at that hat. It's pretty cool.
Right.
And it looks right. Okay, great. How did sometimes people have things that are like backwards, and that's right. I guess it's just like we're looking at you, right? So that's okay. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? All right. So Angie, after all that, we are just so glad you are here today. We always start out the interview saying, please tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how this, oh yeah, and actually how this whole COVID thing has affected your business. And anything else that falls into that area. So go ahead, take it away.
Yeah. So my name is Angie Oakes. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway. I am licensed in the state of Indiana. And here in Indiana, we can work anywhere. However, I have young children, so I can't get too far from home. So I try to stay kind of this central Indianapolis area. And then, so if you know anything about Indianapolis, think I-70 and South. And then I also go out into the Greenfield area. I have some clients that are kind of in the Greenfield area. So if you've ever watched the movie Hoosiers,
Yeah.
think around where that basketball court is.
Cool.
And then as far as COVID is concerned, real estate agents kind of we're blessed here in Indiana. I know a lot of our brothers and sisters in the real estate industry kind of had some different shutdown, lockdown parameters than what we did across the United States, but we were never locked down. We could do business. We just had to change the way we did business. So virtual open houses, virtual showings, only like the couple allowed in the showing. So like I've done showings where the whole family comes, and that wasn't happening during COVID. And then things like safe showing kits were part of our listing. So any listings that we had to have like a kit, or a good person who did a listing had a kit. I had one in my car for people who didn't have one set up for us. And then some of the rules that would be like the owner would leave the lights on, so we weren't touching the light switches. And then we would be able to open and partially close closets and pantries with our feet, so we weren't touching doorknobs,
Oh my
things like that.
God.
That's kind of the difference of what we did. So we just tried to keep the housing market train flowing. But that's how my job changed. And then appointments, a lot of those were done virtually on FaceTime, on Zoom, on Google Meet, on Google Duo. I think I can do them all. So that's kind of the changes that I saw.
Before you ask, Nicole, it was a good year for most of you though, right? It really was.
Yes.
I mean, it,
Mhm.
I just, I never thought about that until you just said all those things, but like the lights being on and not
I
touching
never thought of that
things
either.
and, I mean, but you all adjusted to it. And obviously, I mean, I know well, I don't know all of them, but most of the realtors in our network have said that it was a banner year, and you did well, right? So you
Yeah.
must have adjusted just fine.
Yep. We
Good.
did. We did. My daughter learned how to sell real estate instead of how to do subtraction because she's in second grade. So we did adulting e-learning
Oh, there
instead
you
of
go.
second grade e-learning
Yeah.
because we were busy. And so yeah, she took a house from staging it to closing. So she took it through the whole process. Yeah.
What a great
So
idea. I
awesome.
mean, what a great thing. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, our title of the show has authentic in it, and in this day and time, and I tell you this whole past year, it just seems to be like the buzzword, like authentic, and so important. What does authentic mean to you and your business?
Oh, so my business, you have to connect with people. And I think that you do that through transparency and just being who you are. And when you are not you, it comes across very sleazy
Mm-hmm.
or fake, especially if you're in some sort of sales role, like me. So I'm not for everybody. My personality is not for everyone. And that's okay because there's 8,500 agents in central Indiana. So I'm sure we can find one that fits you. But I am transparent with my clients. And that means that sometimes I have to say to them, this is not good. And here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that authentic is just doing you and being you in all aspects of your life, and that it transfers from your personal life to your business life to your spiritual life and on across the board. You're the same person no matter what door you walk through.
That's
Um,
so awesome. Thank you.
I
Yes.
guess, and I know I was just thinking, you said something. Oh, yeah. So if you're not doing you, you're not fake. If you start out one way and try, that's going to be that thing that doesn't work. If they don't know who you are from the outside, I think there was something you said in there, transparency. There was something you said, but well said. Thank you very much. Thank you. Go ahead, Nicole.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
jump in there.
Well, we are curious. How do you find new business in your industry?
Um, Anywhere I can. I'm not picky. So for me, before COVID, I used to get a lot of clients from open houses. So I would hold houses open for sellers to be able to promote and sell their house. And then I was able to connect with people who enjoyed working with an agent such as myself, although that wasn't everybody, right? Because I'm not for everyone. So, there was those clients that I would connect with that hadn't met an agent that they connected with yet in their
Awesome.
adventures of open houses. I also I absolutely love referrals. Those are my favorite. My very, very, very first client referred his mother, and I was like, that is the biggest blessing ever, that you trusted me with mom. And
Right.
so that was really that, things like that. Just that's how I find business, is connecting with people anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
Love it.
It does happen like that, doesn't it? Connecting anywhere.
Mhm.
I'm making notes because I want to make sure I write these things down. Okay, so
Are you
you've
going to
been
start doing open houses, Jennifer?
on my what? Oh,
It's a good idea. Can we come to your next one after COVID?
after COVID. No, I'm
We
not
can meet.
having, I'm not moving anywhere for a while, I hope. But Angie, you are a member of one of our networking groups, and
Yep.
I guess basically TTR Networking, you are part of. Can you just tell us really, how'd you find us? I don't know if I remember. Well, maybe you and I, maybe that was it. How are you involved? You can tell us a little bit about that, and do you have any stories or anything that come out of that? And I don't really, being transparent, we certainly don't want you to make up a story. So there's no, but obviously you already said referrals are a big thing to you. So if any relate to TTR, that'd be great. But go ahead, tell us what you can share, because I know referrals are big for most of our members. I mean, that's just a given.
Sure. That's
So tell us about
literally what we're here for.
right.
We are here
Exactly.
for referrals.
Exactly.
So yes, I am in one of the TTR groups on the south side of Indy, and we are an all female group. I don't know that it'll stay that way. It wasn't intentional, it just landed that way. But I found this group because I had reached out to Jennifer and said, I'm looking for networking opportunities. Jennifer and I met in my previous life in my previous gig. And so I reached out and said, I'm looking for opportunities. And she's like, well, I don't have any right now, but I'll let you know. And then the real estate agent that was in this group left. And then Jennifer called and said, I now have an opportunity. Do you want to be a part of it? And I, of course, was like, of course, yes. So I've been, I think, oh gosh, a year and a half maybe.
Yeah.
And so as far as a connection story is concerned, we have a pretty special group that we have a great referral partnership, but we also have a great like just community partnership between all of us. And we want more, so don't let that intimidate anyone. We welcome people, but we kind of have these conversations about all kinds of things. And one of them was one of our members told this story about how she traveled across to China. I'm going to do a terrible job with this story, but she traveled across to China and she forgot a comb for her hair. And in every hotel she went to, there was a comb at the hotel. Like apparently this is a thing in China, I didn't know, but there was a comb in every hotel. So by the time her trip was done, she had several combs. Moral of the story was that if you put out, you kind of get what you need in the world kind of supplies it sometimes.
Yes.
And so a year and a half later, this was one of my first meetings I went to. A year and a half later, that still sticks in my head. I still remember the combs in China. Like I still remember that the world will provide what you need. And so that as far as a connecting story, I would say that one connected with me.
So it kind of, it really, I think a lot of our members could probably say that. It's it's what you put out comes back. One way or the other, and you don't, if you put out negative, what happens? Negative comes back, right? And you're thinking, well, why do I keep getting more of these? I don't have it, and if your mindset's that, then it's probably going to attract more of that. But she wasn't, that comb thing. I remember you all sharing that story with me when I was down there one day, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, pretty neat. And those are the kind of things I certainly would hope we share. I think I asked her to write a blog about that, and I don't think we've still gotten that blog, so we'll have to work on getting that one done.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, well, we got the blog.
I love blogs.
She's the blogging lady right there. And actually, some things have turned out to be blogs. Now, actually, I'm kind of going off the script a little bit, but Angie did in December, you did what was the name of it? Help my customers find me through the noise online.
Oh,
and
yes.
Angie is really
help
good.
Others find me.
Yeah. So, and if you could just, this is actually, I don't know if any of those connections there might have, but they're going to remember you. But what did you do kind of in a little synopsis? You talked about Google and.
Yeah. So, different platforms are more geared towards different industries. So not all industries will do well on all platforms. And so what we talked about was kind of individually, one-on-one, discussing their business, discussing the platform, discussing how to use that platform, and then on to the next. Discussing their business, discussing the platform, how to use that platform, then on to the next. And we did that for about 15 people.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting that many. It was so sweet. And the time ran out and you made sure every single person was helped. That was so thoughtful. That was really nice.
But it was,
tried.
But you know what? And some people might argue, well, in that example, we were talking about Google and, I don't know, you were talking about groups and different things on social media, but because now we're all on Zoom now, but because, had it been that we weren't on
Zoom.
Zoom, it might have been, and maybe we would have, asked you to do it in the conference room at Berkshire Hathaway or something. But because of the connections that we all had, then we were able to put it out on our social media and so the connections, some of the connections may have already been made, but, being a part of a group or an organization like that helped attract, people could see it through that. So I guess that is kind of a networking story in the big picture that, yeah, some people are going to
Well, there was,
go ahead.
yeah, there was one person from my group in that. And then the rest of the people, I had no idea who they were.
Yeah. But they were part of the
do now,
network.
and everything about their businesses now.
New friends, 14,
So-
13 new friends. No.
Yeah, but that's true. And everything, and they might have found her if she put it out on her own stuff, which I know she does a lot with social media and stuff, but there is something about having a group of people kind of connected. And we do have industry exclusive groups. Everybody meets different times of the week, but we do have, I think there seems to be kind of still a network of people connected because we're all part of this organization. And we do have events and stuff where we all get together on Zoom right now, but it kind of builds on that.
Yeah.
So that to me, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I would think you just did that in December, Angie. So probably, hopefully that'll turn into other things. I know I was on the call and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, she knows about that. We're going to have to get her to do that. We're going to have to get her to do that. But I mean, you do have a wealth and, a wealth of knowledge and, we can all help each other that way. You never know who might then say, oh, I remember Angie's a realtor. I mean, it might come back to that.
Yeah.
Take it away, Nicole. I think we've covered my questions pretty well there.
Yes, sure. Great questions. What I'm wondering, one thing that's really cool about TTR Networking to the rescue, we support nonprofits. And I just love that. That sets us apart from a lot of other networking groups. And what kind of nonprofits are you interested in supporting, or maybe that your group has in the past?
Yeah. So our group, in November, we did a toy drive for Youth Connections. And in December, we did in October. I'm so sorry, because we did it on an off month. In October, we did a food drive for Johnson County Senior Services. So we had Johnson County Senior Services come and be a guest speaker in October. And then she gave us a list of the most needed items in her pantry. And then basically our group just kind of brought in some things. I reached out. My mother-in-law is very active in a large church in Franklin, and they have a lovely women's group. So I reached out to them and asked if they would also support this. And they always typically support Johnson County Senior Services. So they piggybacked onto what we were doing that month. And then in November, like I said, we did a toy drive. So we did where we created an Amazon registry for Youth Connections, and people could order on Amazon and have it shipped there, or they could drop off at my office during certain times, and then they could drop off at one of our other members. Her name is Candace Cooper. She's the owner of MVP Title, and she has an office in Franklin. So we had a drop off in Greenwood and a drop off in Franklin, or you can Amazon deliver thinking you didn't even want to get off your couch, right? So that's what our group has done. Me personally, I am a sappy person. So I have several things that I do personally. I was telling you all earlier, I did an auction basket today.
Yes.
My very first one I assembled. I dropped that off today for a silent auction that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. One of the girls in my neighborhood put together a different silent auction. So they are dropping. I have the ability to put it together. I have like the stuff, because I make gift baskets for my clients. So like I have the stuff, right? So I can assemble it. So they're all going to drop it off on my porch, and then I'm going to assemble it and go deliver it. I have worked for years for I think 6 years maybe 7, for a nonprofit for veterans. It's local here in Indy. It's called Azimuth. I love veterans. My parents were both military, my grandfathers. It runs deep here. So I'm all about veterans. So I do that. And there's some other stuff too, but I would say those are the
Well,
ones. Like
That's
Azimuth is
amazing.
something
That's a
that I've done for a
lot.
long
yeah,
time.
that's a lot. So what is the
Thank
veteran?
you.
What's the veteran organization again? What's the name of that?
It's called
The,
Azimuth.
Azimuth.
Azimuth, AZIMUTH.
Oh, glad you spelled it. I wrote something totally different.
Azimuth.
So if you're from the military, you know what it
Yeah.
means. If you're not, you have no clue. And so azimuth is the direction that brings you home. It's not a
Oh,
compass, it's the azimuth that directs you to where you need to go.
That's
oh,
cool.
And so that's what it is. It's kind of Angie's list for veterans. It's a list of resources, which there's a ton of them out there. And so this is a great, easy way to like find the resources for veterans all over the country. So there's an azimuth here. I believe there's one in North Carolina. I want to say there's one in Iowa. And the goal is to have them in all 50 states. But it started here.
cool.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Wow.
That sounds like a term we should have used with our TTR stuff, right? We'll work it in somewhere because part of our
I was going to say, we can always work it in there.
well, we have
Yeah.
different logos that go with our different parts of the network, and that I like that. I don't know if I knew that word. That's pretty cool. Well,
No,
I
not me.
guess
You're not in the military, you wouldn't
I
know.
no, I'm
know.
not in the
Thank
military.
you
Oh,
so often.
yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm always happy to find out new things like that. Nicole, I jumped right on top of your question you were going to ask.
That's okay. We're talking about azimuth. This is more important. Actually, no, when she hears the question, I don't know. It's all together.
Very
Well, I'm sure our audience is wondering, Angie, how can we contact you? Where do we azimuth you? Where do we find you?
Oh,
With
I like
azimuth
that.
me.
I like
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I have a Twitter. I just don't feel Twitter. I do have a Snapchat. That's new though. I'm still learning it.
Mhm.
And I have a website, and all my handles are the same. It's
Good for
Angie
you.
Lists Indie, and I am an Angi, not an Ange with an E. So ANGILISTSINDY.
That is
I love
super
it.
cool. I like how you use it for everything. nice and
Everything.
easy. And I'd like to add, we can also find you on TTR Networking, TTR, no, www.ttrnetworking.com.
Yes.
Under extraordinary
Networking
connections.
groups.
She's on
Extraordinary
one, yeah,
connections.
and maybe we don't know that, but that's where she is right now. So, oh boy, that's pretty cool. Let's see. So we got all that. Well, I guess then, Angie, was there anything, we always kind of give you the floor, our guests a chance to kind of put out the final thoughts that they want to leave everybody with. So
I do, and I've thought about this. I've thought about this, and I'm gonna steal this. See this picture behind me? This guy did a
Which one?
post yesterday that really spoke to me.
okay.
So I'm one of those people that I absorb energies, like not energies, but like I absorb, like if I feel like I've let somebody down or I've disappointed somebody, like I feel that in my heart,
I
right?
think you're an
That's who
empath.
I am.
I think
Well,
that's
and I don't know that I'm an empath, to be honest with you. Like
okay.
I feel that a lot. I have a
Mhm.
friend who is an empath, and her and I react differently. So that's why I say that.
Okay,
But
never mind. Scratch that. Just, you know.
but so this guy right here, his name is Jared James. He's a real estate coach. I'm going to take this off the wall right here, and I'm going to read it to you
Okay.
because it really spoke to me on some things of I don't need to own everything. Okay, so hold on.
Okay.
I
Okay.
love it already.
Jared James.
It says
Okay.
Jared James. Yes.
Jared.
You aren't responsible for every kernel that doesn't decide to become popcorn. Supply the heat and move on.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
You might have to take, this is a weird moment, but could you put that up to the screen so I could take a shot of that? Oh, there you go. Okay, so yeah, because I could that, okay, I like that.
Like
I
it
know this
too.
is very weird to do that on a, while we're recording our show, but there you go. I got it. Good.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Angie. That's
This was
awesome.
on his post yesterday on his social media, and
Ah.
I was like, I'm feeling this today, pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
So I printed it and I put it up so I could remind myself I don't have to own every kernel in the bunch.
Nope.
So,
And I think that is
Love
a
it.
really big part of, I think sometimes we think we got to make every single person happy, and you can't do
Because
it.
that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
You've
Right.
got
I'm
that
a
in you, but you
pleaser.
can't.
Yes, I'm a people pleaser person. I have been my entire life.
Me too.
And so now in my older years, I'm learning that I don't have to do that. Now,
Mhm.
there are days, yesterday was one of them, where I'm like, do I own that or do I let it go? And
Mhm.
so that's,
Bless it and let it go. That's from another Angie. That's Angie McHale's.
Yeah, but it
I
is
can't
true.
keep that. I can't own that one, but I can borrow.
Yeah, but I do think, and I don't know where that came from, but I do think that's a really good way to end our recording today.
Yes.
That is really good. Thank you, Angie.
Love it.
And we know you
Thank
have
you
some
so
big,
much.
I know you have some big things that are happening in your business world. We wish you all the good vibes and everything. I know you
thank
just
you.
kill
Thank
it
you.
every
Good
time you
vibes,
do
good vibes.
anything. So let's see. We will adjourn, I guess, Nicole. That was really nice. I like
Okay.
it. Yeah, take it away.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Until next time, may all your days be filled with authenticity. Thank you,
Hey,
everybody.
everybody.